right, same night as the video I just uploaded. I'm just going to continue on. I've got this inner rocker panel cut back to right there. The other piece is right here, underneath this right here. Like I said, it's easier to do this right here than I've got it notched around that rail right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and punch all my holes. I've got the first hole marked right there, so then I just gotta line up on that one, then I can punch the rest of them. And I'll do the same thing after I get this one in. I'll get that one back here, get it in place, measured, punch the holes for it, and then I'll stitch weld these two pieces back together in the same spot. Then the entire lower rocker can roll into place and get welded in. Yeah, this side definitely going a lot quicker than the other side because now I know what I need to do. I've probably only got maybe, I don't know, an hour's worth of cutting the metal, getting everything positioned correctly, and then an hour of tacking stuff together so far and getting all that together. And but it's going to come together pretty quick. All right, so I've got the top tacked together on the inner rocker. I've made a spacing plate for in between the inner and outer, and I've also got it welded to the bottom of the center rail that I've put in. So this should sandwich it all together. And if you can hear, the rain's coming down and it's cold. So I just tacked right there along the rear side of where this outer rocker panel does. And I'm fixing to start tacking right here where it connects right here. Then I've got to rebuild all of that with some sheet metal. Weld all that inside this seam and then roll this edge over. That's what I did on the other side. So if I weld it here, that'll seal it off, but then if I roll this edge over and re-weld it again, you'll end up having a double weld through the rolled edge and water will shed off of it. So I'll go ahead and sort of fold this back down a bit more, weld all along this edge, fold it back over. I've got to build up all the outside. That tube is right here on the inside. This is solid right now, so what I'm going to do is I'll take, whenever I get to the point where I'm going to do the welding, or not the welding, but the wiring, I'll drill a hole in the top side right here, big enough for that 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch flex tubing to go like that, and I can feed it back through that 2-inch tube without any issues. Same thing in the back. I couldn't put it in pre-hand because I would be melting it more than likely. All right, well, I went ahead and got this all patched up, so that's all completed. All the holes are filled. Like I said, I gotta come back and grind down and touch up on the welding here and there, but I got that hole plugged, everything there, and now, you know, got all this here welded, folded, and then re-welded again. Now I've got to start making my plates, and I'm gonna do the upper side first before I ain't saying that. I'm gonna look in start figuring out what I need to do. But pretty much everything up to here I'm gonna cut out. This here's good, but then there's a patch panel I gotta make up here because there's some holes up here. But I'll get all that fixed, and then this whole section right here replaced, because that's got to come over, and I got to do a 90 fold into this crease and weld up along there all the way up into that. So we'll just keep that. I'll just make some patch panels for the inside, then filler on the outside. It's gonna be the easiest way to strengthen that up and get rid of the holes. But yeah, this here's my next goal. This and the floor, and then I can start working that. So I'm gonna let this thing down and start working from the inside. This is probably gonna take a while because I've got to do a lot of forming with this, and I'll probably do it in a couple of different sections. Probably one from here down to this flat side, and then I'll have to curve it. I'll have to bend it here, and then do my 90 so it'll catch the slip, and then this section right here I'll do next. But what I might do is do this upper side first, then get the floor pan in, get it sort of tacked in just a few spots, and then come back and make this section right here so it fits perfect. But we'll continue on. One thing I've done is I've actually adjusted the, which one was it? This right here, this is the relief valve for the lift, because it was set for, it's set for whatever your speed, the amount of weight that's on the lift is pressing the fluid back in when you hit the relief lower lever. And so I have adjusted this now so that this car is so light, it was taking 5 to 10 minutes for this thing to even come down 3 feet. So I've adjusted that temporarily, and I marked where it was at. So, I can let this thing like that, and then when I start putting, the motor and stuff back in it and it starts getting heavy, I can adjust it back up so it doesn't go too quick. But then also, right now, like the other day I had to fix something on my wife's car. Well, I adjusted it back. It's just a jam nut and a adjustment screw. So that's what I had to do to make this thing to where I could actually lower, because I could, especially when it's really cold and this fluid doesn't want to move anyway. It was you hold it and it would not move. The entire lift would just stay still, because it was set for heavy weight and there wasn't anything there to push down on it. Alright guys, I haven't videoed much tonight, but I got I split that patch into 2 panels there. Got it welded up the sides all the way around. It's welded on the outside and also on the inside, so it's like that. And then I'll clean it up and, smooth it out with some filler. I still got to patch the one hole up there. I went ahead and patched up these big holes in here. Like I said, same thing like I did over there, where I'm gonna have to drill up from underneath to re-drill my seat mounts out. I've got the floor pan. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Floor pan's pretty much sitting where it's supposed to sit right there. I've got a little bit of gappage right there, but that gap, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna do the same thing I did the other side, where I'm gonna weld back this side and the front here, and leave that unwelded for any tunnel mods that I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, because they've left this here pie cut right here on this corner, and this pie cut right there, so I can cut or fold this side in, and corner. I've still got gappage here, which I've got made up with the front here and cover this tunnel right here up. I cut that a little high, like I said, just because it had rust on that, so I'm cutting that. Then same thing I did on that side over there. Before I put this in, I'm going to coat it with a rust inhibitor on the inside of the rail. I don't think I showed it on the side, but I did that. And then my other thing is I'm gonna come back and where like I was showing, this front frame rail right here is attached to this right here. It's actually welded together. You can see right here, there's about a 3-inch overlap, and these two are welded together. I've put the spacer in here, and I've got it marked on the other side. But I'm gonna put one here also on the inside and drill a hole through and use a stainless bolt and sort of sandwich that together, just for my own, peace of mind. I don't have a feeling these would ever separate now that I've got this welded up there, welded together, because this front plate is actually welded to the end of this back section. And also it's attached back there to that cross rail, which is attached to the rocker panels now, and it's just all one big piece. But like I said, I've still got, to finish up the welding here in the tunnel, but I'm gonna leave it until I'm sure I'm done, ensure that my transmission and everything fits, which I think it will. If I have to do anything, it'll be just right back there, right in here, because I'm gonna have to lift it up just a hair bit. I'm not sure yet on what I need to do, but I know I'm probably got to mod my console, my center console, where my shifter's going to sit. I think I'm going to have to raise it up a hair bit, which is not an issue. That's all interior work. So, side here done. Then I'll probably end up going back and working on the trunk, because I'm trying to do sort of like the big items first. That's how I sort of tend to get things done, is I handle the super big items that I'm most worried about. So at first it was frame rails, then it's floor pans and the rockers, then it's gonna be that trunk section where the hole is in the floor, and then I'll come back and I'll start working on the window seal areas and that cowl. That right there I'll probably do all at once, the front window and cowl, and then that back window that I got probably a 15-minute patch I gotta do back there. From that point on, one of the ones I need to fix is this area right here. This is the driver's side front suspension, your A-arm mount. This right here, so this part right here is just sheet metal pretty much. I mean, really, it's as thick as all the rest of the body sheet metal, but it's stamped and it's got some extra bracing right here, and when it gets sandwiched, it just doesn't deform. But this area right here is not really that big of an issue. But what I'm going to do is all this area here that's rusted off, I'm going to cut all that off, grind all that off. The frame rail here has got a rusty hole in it, so I'm going to cut right here, take a piece of that 3/8 inch thick steel, place it in there, weld on top, bottom, around, and then cut a piece of sheet metal that will fit this whole groove right here, and place it over and sort of tack, form it to these shapes, form it around, and that'll be solved. The rest of all this is fine. It was just that one, and there was a hole over on this side too, which I sort of already got patched whenever I first started working on this car. So pretty much that's it. Driver's side floor area, firewall, trunk, the cowl and windows, and that's, we're getting there. I would say, as far as time invested and how much more I have, I'm probably a third to halfway done with the amount of time I need to actually finish the work. And that's just welding. Then I got to come back and do all the grinding and polishing stuff, getting it smooth, and then then comes the finishing, where I use filler and stuff like that to smooth out the body. After I get that done, then I'm going to go back and primer the entire body again. I'm going to coat all the rest of everything with black, so I don't have to worry about rusting after I get all this and get everything smoothed out. And then do the body filler, then come back and spray the entire car with gray primer. And then what I can do, and I've seen, you know, been watching videos on that, spray it with gray primer and then mist it with black, and then you can sand back. So you do gray primer, you do your body filler and stuff, and then you mist it with black, and then you sort of use the black spray as like your guide to getting your contours and everything smooth. So, you know, this is the first time I'll ever be doing the entire vehicle like that. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but I feel like, you know, this metal work, this was what I was most worried about. I think the body work is just going to be a monotonous thing to where I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to work on it for a few hours, but a few hours you can get, you know, a couple panels done. And then, you know, still got all the front fenders, the hood, the doors, and all that to go. I have to patch, which I think I can just use some metal filler on the hood and the door where I've got a couple small holes at, because the holes aren't no bigger than, you know, small screw hole. But it's coming along. It's getting late. I don't even know what time it is right now. I think I probably got to stop. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. And I'm out here welding and beating on this thing with a body hammer. So I'm probably going to call it quits here tonight. Get started on it again sometime next couple days. But I'll continue the video. I didn't get much video of me doing all this metal work. I've been trying to get as much done as I can. And trying not to, you know, waste too much time videoing, because this is just monotonous metal work. It's the same thing over and over again, cutting and patching, you know. And this right here was sort of a pain, because you've got compound curves, and that's one of the reasons why I did this two-piece, was because this has a curve down and round. And then same thing here, it curves down and around, and then I've welded it all along here. I made similar to what I did the other side, a 90-degree angle piece here. I did angle the edges here, but it just didn't seem to line up the way I wanted to. It was hard to have that 90-degree on the edge of this and bend it, so I went ahead and made another 90-degree and just did it that way. It just got easier. I'll get the floor pan in, and then I'll come back and see. And this is part of it. I've got to hammer this now to line up with the floor pan. And that floor pan's got to come forward a little bit, bend it into shape. And what I'll do is I'll overlap on the inside of this right here down to the floor pan. But I've got to take a hammer and beat this in a little bit. But there again, it's late at night, and I don't want to make the neighbors mad. But it's coming along. You know, the welds aren't pretty, but they don't have to be. They have to hold. And with as much weld as I put on this and made sure all the gaps are filled, it will hold. I'm not worried about it. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.